Paddy Pimbletts' hype is a reflection of the intelligence of modern society. This dude is mediocre, and everyone thinks that he has improved. Not everyone, but a lot of fucking. I can't say certain words. But for some reason, people legitimately think that this guy is a good test for the elite of the lightweight division. Just because he submitted Benoit Saint Denis, BSD, who is, let's be honest, a barbarian. BSD fights like. BSD fights like. I don't. He doesn't fight like anything. He fights like himself, and it's not good. I wish I had a funny joke I could tell you, but BSD's so bad that I don't think he deserves to be compared to anyone for you to laugh. Personally, I think BSD is a can, and I know people will say no, he's not. He beat all these good fighters, man. He beat Dariush. He beat Hooker. First of all, BSD's entire career is Armin's leftovers. After Armin Sarukian broke his competition, BSD just took the scraps, and it's like, yeah, you could knock out Dariush, but you could also suck. Like, anyone could just knock out Dariush. You know? It's one of those things. So, BSD gets battered by Hanato Moicano, and then we're saying he's a good win for Paddy. BSD is not good. What does BSD do good? I feel like this is me shitting on BSD more than it is Paddy, but it ties into how mediocre Paddy truly is as a fighter. The truth about Paddy Pimblett is, let me just be honest with you guys, this dude was massively underrated after his fight with Justin Gaethje. But because Justin Gaethje beat Ilya Topuria, it upscaled Paddy, and everyone claimed Paddy did better than Ilya, even though he didn't really. And let's be honest, Ilya showed up like a shit version of himself, and I picked Gaethje to win that. And Gaethje showed up like a pretty shit version of himself against Paddy. He had staff. I know I poked Paddy. Paddy is like mid. He's not bad necessarily.Maybe I'll say he is just to be funny. Like, oh, Paddy's bad. He's mid. Okay, Paddy is mid, and that's a thing that we have to accept. Like, when you actually watch Paddy Pimblett and you take away all of the on paper stuff, like, oh, he actually did better than Ilya even though he didn't, you're not impressed. Oh, but he submitted BSD. That's extremely impressive. BSD sucks. I told you that. Like, that's the one thing Paddy has is reactive submissions. Other than that, he has nothing. And I see people legitimately favoring him to beat like Max, to beat Armin, just because, oh yeah, bro, Armin shoots takedowns, so that means Paddy submits him. That's not how it works, guys. Paddy doesn't just have immunity to grappling because he submitted BSD. But it reflects on the intelligence of modern society, right? Because something gets told to you and you just believe it. That's what a lot of people are like nowadays. They don't question things. They don't question it if there's a narrative that is just bullshit and it's just a psyop. That's what Paddy Pimblett is. He's a psyop. BSD was overrated to glaze Paddy in the process. Paddy Pimblett is mediocre still. Nothing changes. You could annihilate BSD and be a fraud yourself, in my opinion. That's just how it works. Paddy Pimblett got submitted in the regional scene. Paddy Pimblett got fucking thrown around by Michael Chandler for the better part of fucking 2 rounds. He got his back taken. Paddy's some amazing grappler just because he's got a dangerous submission game from the front headlock. Like, don't get me wrong. He's got some good submission skills. He's got great submission skills. That's all he's got as a grappler. Like, he's not actually a really good jiu-jitsu practitioner. He doesn't have like a Charles Oliveira like prowess in jiu-jitsu. He's just dangerous. And look, maybe he could fluke an Armin. And I'm not going to say that's a fluke, because if you try to go for a submission and you get it, you get it. But like this idea that Armin can't grapple, like Armin would take him down and beat him up. Like, we saw Chandler get in and take him down. There's a certain level of explosiveness. There's a certain level of grappling and wrestling. You can't just do the same old, oh, I'm just going to submit you. I'm just going to submit you. That's not how it works. That's just not how it works. Oh, but Charles Oliveira almost did it. Well, keyword almost. And that's not exactly how Charles almost did it. People don't watch the fights. They don't look at context. Armin got dropped by leg kicks and then kind of went into a sloppy grappling exchange as a result. And that Darce that Charles had was never really close anyway. It was somewhat close. But whatever, right? Paddy Pimblett has like none of Paddy's wins are good, so we elevate him off of a loss, which his loss isn't that good either. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Justin Gaethje is not like some amazing generational talent. He's a very good fighter. He's tough. He's a good fighter. He's an elite fighter, right? I would say on the night. But let's be honest, Gaethje's kind of lucky. Gaethje, I don't think is elite anymore. I think Gaethje got there at the right time. It was the right event. That's why I picked him. There was this vibe that he was gonna win. I still don't think Gaethje's all that good. I'm sorry. I don't care if he's got Ilya on his resume. That doesn't somehow make Gaethje some amazing, like, oh my gosh, bro, you went 5 rounds with Justin Gaethje, bro. Like, you show no fight IQ, bro. Like, how is that some determiner of Paddy's level? Paddy Pimblett is kind of just a goofy, he's just kind of a goofy Englishman who like can kind of fight. But because of that, people just like, there's just like this level of like psyoping that could be done when someone kind of looks the part with the hair, with the, oh, look at the finish. Look what it did to BSD in under a minute, bro. BSD is a scrub. I'm tired of acting like BSD is not just, he's not even decent in my opinion. I know that's like harsh because he actually has like some good wins. Like he beat Mauricio Rufy, but Rufy is kind of just, I think he probably would beat BSD in a rematch, but that's just like a very specific stylistic matchup, right? Like, let's be honest, Paddy Pimblett is not that good. And if you believe he's like this, oh, no, man, like he would beat Armin, he would beat Max. He would actually have a pretty good chance against Ilya, bro. Like, look, it's fighting. Anyone has a chance, but that doesn't change the fact that he isn't top 5 material, in my opinion. He's not top 5. He's like barely top 10. I would be worried for Paddy against some people in the division. I think he would beat like a Hanato Moicano, but what's to say Hanato doesn't fucking take him down with a body lock and not shoot like a double leg? What if that happens? Would you be confident Paddy subs him then? I mean, I think Paddy would beat him, but Paddy ain't that good, man. I mean, Paddy just ain't that good, and I do think his hype kind of shows how kind of easily people are swayed. Just people have no like memory. They don't have any. A lot of people just don't have critical thinking skills. So yeah, the MMA fans, if you think Paddy is really all that, explain to me why in the comments. If you disagree with me, if you've made it to the end of the video, subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.